Okay. Let's see. There we go. All right. So I'm going to record our next little set of notes, basically the process of decomposition, the stages of decay. It's also when we're going to talk about the body farm. We're going to talk about the autopsies? No, I think just the body farm stuff. Okay. Autopsy will be beginning next week. So the University of Tennessee had the first body farm in the United States. So anthropological research facility, nicknamed the Body Farm. It investigates human decomposition. Bodies are placed in different settings throughout the facility and left to decompose. The bodies are exposed in a number of ways in order to provide insights into decomposition under different varying conditions. So we've talked about this before. I've mentioned the body farm, but this is definitely when it comes up. This is its unit. When all the things that we are learning, a lot of it came from body farms. Okay, so that was the first one and really the only one for a long time. It was started in the 1970s, but we have a couple more that have popped up. I know there's one in the state of Texas. So if you're interested in working in a body farm or getting to intern at one in college, there's one at the state of Texas. Okay, so stages of decomposition. Bodies begin to decompose shortly after death and do so in 5 predictable stages. We're going to talk about those 5 stages. So the first one being fresh, then bloat or putrefaction, active decay or black putrefaction, advanced decay, and then dry remains or skeletonization. Now, the livor mortis, the rigor mortis, alga mortis, all that stuff we talked about initially or in the first couple days, that's all in fresh. We'll say that in this slide. Here we go. So fresh begins almost instantly after death. So this is first stage, right after death. Liver, rigor, and alga mortis all occur during the fresh phase. Autolysis or self-digestion just means your cells are breaking down. Begins as lysosomes break down and release their digestive enzymes into the cell. Visible changes caused by decomposition are limited during the fresh stage, although autolysis may cause blisters to appear on the surface of the skin. So this is a picture of poor little piggy in the fresh phase. So not a lot is changing, but you are getting that purple discoloration from livor mortis. They do stiffen and unstiffen for rigor mortis, and the alga mortis, they are changing to the temperature of their surroundings. But that's mostly all you're going to see. Then we roll into bloat. So bloat, this stage of death is mostly due to the activities of microorganisms for intestinal flora, then other bacteria and fungi coming in. So your own intestinal bacteria is starting to break down and bloat the body, characterized by the production of gases, which gives rise to the bloated appearance of the decomposing body and a strong odor. So this is usually where the odor kicks in. The skin turns a greenish color as blood decomposes. Sorry. It always makes me hard to do these videos. I don't yawn when I'm actually doing notes in class. It doesn't make any sense. Skin may break apart and fluids can flow out from the opening. So this is kind of where bodies have like erupted, it's where the smell can come in. Things can get this is like the grossest phase is bloat. Well, maybe not. If you really hate bugs, then active decay is worse. So active decay, this stage is recognizable by the great loss in mass. So it's active because all of the maggots are actively feeding on the body. Parts of the flesh may be black and corpse gives off an even stronger odor because everything is opening up and being eaten and just more exposed to the elements. As gases escape and the body leaks decomposition fluids, the body may collapse. The end of this stage is marked by the dispersal of the maggots from the body. So basically how you know this phase is over is maggots leave. Okay, so active decay is purely about maggots in the body. So this is most active. It's when most of the flesh is being eaten. 6 to 10 days is kind of where that falls in. This was up to 4 days, and this was like 0 to 2. That wasn't saying those. We get into our advanced decay. So the body begins to dry and preserve itself. Most of the flesh is gone. Odor and insect activity decrease. Body may form a wax layer known as adipocere. And as you can see on this, that depends on the climate and the surroundings if that's going to form. It has to be like more acidic and probably colder. So then 10 to 20 days is when the body is drying itself out. It's mostly just skin and bones and hair and things. Most of the fleshy parts are gone. And then we have actual dry remains or skeletonization. So the final stage, recognizable by loss of everything on the body but dried up bone. So you know it's in this phase when really all that's decaying left is bones. So 50 to 365 days. So most bodies will fully decompose within a year. It can take longer though, depending on where the body was disposed of, how it was disposed of. Definitely weather conditions really affect it. Now, speed of decomposition depends on many factors. So age, young decompose faster than the elderly. For one, they're smaller. Generally. So size of the body, overweight people decompose faster than average, which that I feel like you wouldn't think because they would be bigger. But their body's just easier to break down. So fat is easier to break down than muscles. Clothing, naked decomposes faster than clothed. That one's obvious. It's just easier to get to the body when there isn't any clothes hindering insect activity. Health, so sick decomposes faster than healthy. So when people die when they are sick, they generally have a fever or other things that make the body more warm, which helps speed up the process. Environmental conditions, so bodies decompose fastest from 70 to 99 degrees. That's the Fahrenheit. So that's like the fastest decomposition temperature. Higher temperatures dry out a corpse and preserve them. So it could be so hot in a desert that it actually just like preserves the body because it just dries it all up. Insects can't really get to it after that. If it's really cold, lower temperatures prevent bacterial growth and slow decomposition. So the bacteria aren't going to come out. Insects aren't going to come out. All that's going to slow it way down if it's really cold. And then bodies decompose faster in air, slower in water, or buried underground. That's where we're going to stop. Yeah, because that's the end. We'll do autopsies next week. That was fast. Or at least it felt fast. Let's see. Trying to find my little stop button. It was on my other screen.